Good morning, everyone. We have been learning about the Unit 3 of Instrumentation, the Process Control, in the previous sessions. So, after learning the Unit 3 of Instrumentation and Process Control, one has to illustrate the principles of automatic process control and different modes of control action. So, this is the last session of Unit 3 of Instrumentation, the Process Control, where we will learn about how to select the controller. So that is the criteria for the selection of the controller, and what are the types of actuating error signal which gives output to get required control action, system of a controller, stability of the control system, the servo mechanism, and the actuating medium of the process control. So before moving on to these topics, let us recall the previous session. So in this Unit 3 of Instrumentation and the Process Control, we have learnt about the different diagrams such as operational diagram, physical diagram, and the block diagram, and the method of or the nomenclature and the method of drawing the instrumentation diagram. So what is the criteria has to be followed in the instrumentation diagrams? What is the schematic representation of the instrumentation diagram, and different modes of the control, which is the main the concept of Unit 3. So different modes of the control, like proportional mode of control action, derivative mode of control action, integral mode of control action. Then the combination of all these control mode of actions, such as proportional mode of control action, proportional integral mode of control action, proportional derivative mode of control action, proportional integral derivative mode of control action. So what are the mathematical equation based on the output of the controller also we have learnt in this unit, and we have based on their mode of control action in a controller, we have compared the different modes of control action such as P, PI, PD, and PID mode of control action based on their offset, based on their output, based on their oscillation, the time period of oscillation, and the mathematical equation based on the output of the controller. So these are all the topics which have been covered in the last sessions of Unit 3 of Instrumentation and the Process Control. So in this session, we will learn what is the criteria for selection of the controller. So in order to select any controller for the particular operation, so we have to basically look into the controller about the deviation that has to be tolerated by the controller, or we say that the deviation that can be tolerated by the controller. So we have to look into the initial purchase cost also, installation cost also, and the maintenance cost also. So the cost is very important to make the whole process in a system economically feasible. So the criteria of selection of a controller becomes very important. So these are the types of you can look into the diagram. These are the types of the actuating error signal which gives output to get the required constant action. So you have a step output, the pulse output, the ramp, and the sinusoidal output. What is the step output or the step response of a system in a given initial state? Consists of a time evolution of its output when its control inputs are of step function. So basically the step response of a system is usually used in electronic engineering and the control theory. So in this theory, electronic engineering and control theory, step response is the time behavior of the output of a general system when inputs change from 0 to 1 in a very short time. So according to the change in the input from 0 to 1, the time behavior of the output, that will show in a very short time. We call it as a step response of a system. So coming to the system of controller, what is a system? You know. What is a control? You already know. So in a process, control of a system of a controller is formed by connecting the process and the automatic controller. So both put together, like the process and the automatic controller put together forms a system of control in a process controller. You know what is process control, what is a system. All these we have learned in our basic chapter of unit 1 and unit 3 also. You have two types of systems, open loop system and the closed loop feedback system. So what is being shown here in the diagram is the closed loop feedback system. Just observe the diagram very carefully. So you have R here, plus or minus, then G, M, G, P. This is GL, plus or minus. Feedback is being given to the set point. So what is R? R is the set point. GP is nothing but the process transfer. Then G is a control transfer. GL is a load function. M is what? M is shown here is M is a manipulated variable and C is the control variable. GL is a load function. Whatever you've just saw is a closed system. So, and it is being obtained by the process and the automatic controller. Here whatever we see, the feedback is being compared with is taken from the output. See, feedback is taken. This is the output of the controller. The feedback is taken from the output measured value to compare it with the desired value. This we call it as a feedback, closed loop feedback control system. So the process and the automatic controller put together, we call it as a closed system. In a closed system, the output of the controller is being compared with the set point. Then we call it as a closed feedback control system. So in the feedback, there is a positive feedback and negative feedback depending on whether the measured value is greater or less than the desired value. Positive feedback and the negative feedback. So what is this for positive feedback and the negative feedback? So it mainly depends upon the measured value and the desired value on comparison with the measured value and the desired value. So if the measured value is greater than the desired value, then we call it as a positive feedback. If the measured value is less than the desired value, then we call it as a negative feedback. So the feedback is always present in a closed loop control system. Feedback you can see here is always present in a closed loop feedback control system. Open loop is one system where there is no feedback. There is no feedback in the sense here the output value of the controller or the controller output value is not being compared with the set point. So the comparison is not being done. So that we call it as an open loop control system. So whatever the output we get, that is the final output. So for example, the process variable, if the temperature of the process variable such as temperature is it is desired to get in the output at 70 degree. What if we are getting at 65 degree in an open loop control system? That will be the final answer, final output of that control system. So that we call it as a open loop control system. So now coming to the stability of the control system. Just now we have learnt what is an open loop control system and what is a closed loop control system. Coming to the stability is nothing but how stable the system is when the process is running on, or when the control mode of action is running in a particular system. In a control system, the stability is what? It is a number of exclusive oscillation in the system for a change of set point and the load, or the load alone or the set point alone. it is what? The number of oscillations. So how much we are getting for a change in the output value of the control system, or the change in the load, or change in the both the output value of the control system or the load alone, or change in the set point. So that is the stability of the control system. When the controller settings are fixed, stability is necessary, because without the stability the system will produce wild or excessive oscillation, leading to wear or failure or distraction of the parts of the system. So for any system, the stability is very important in order to get the proper output in that particular system. Otherwise, it will lead to the wild or excessive oscillation, the wear and tear, or the failure or the distraction of the parts of the system. So the stability covers the maximum setting to be used and the methods to test the stability. This is the stability of the control system. The servo mechanism. So what is servo mechanism? So these represents a group of feedback controls elements whose control output are mechanical position. These feedback systems are called the servo mechanism. So the actuating medium of the process control. So actuating medium is nothing but the final, the actuating medium is nothing but the medium which is being used to operate the final control element in order to correct the error. So we can also say that it is a signal generated due to an error to operate a controller. The transmission of the signal, the actuating medium or the signal can be mechanically or pneumatically or hydraulically or the electrically. So these can be of any form, like mechanically, pneumatically, hydraulically or electrically, and these act as a medium for actuating the controller, operating the medium of actuating the medium, act as a medium for actuating the controller, the medium which are used for operating the controller. So the final control element, for example, if this the water heating system in which the water is heated by means of a steam, so the steam flow is being adjusted by the final control element, that is a valve. So the valve is being operated based on the output value of the controller, that is a temperature. So if there is an error, so if the output value is greater than the required set point, then automatically the final control element will close. If it is less than the set point, the final control element will open to allow the steam to flow, thereby heating the water in the water heater. So in the operating of the final control element, the valve, in an automatic controller can be done mechanically or pneumatically by the supply of air, or hydraulically by the supply of the water, or electrically by the supply of the electrical power. So that we call it as a actuating medium of the process controller. So overall, what we have learned in this session, we have learned about this criteria for the selection of the controller. So what is a step response, what is the open loop control system, what is a closed loop control system, what are the different elements which are present in a closed loop and the open loop, and what is a positive feedback and the negative feedback control system, stability of the control system, servo mechanism, actuating medium of the process control. So what are different modes of the actuating medium, such as the mechanical, pneumatical, or the hydraulical, or the electrical. I hope you have understood from this session. Thank you.